guys, and welcome to another grey, windy, wet day in lockdown Britain. It will end one day. The vaccine is coming. Today we're going to look at protein classification in proteins. Now, in A-level biology. Why classify proteins? Well, it actually helps you understand a little bit about them, believe it or not, and their functions. For some ways of classifying. The first way of classifying them is actually based on their structure. So we look at structure first. Okay. And there are two main types. There are fibrous proteins. And these are the ones that generally come as long chains that are sort of coiled up together. And I talked about this yesterday. No, day before yesterday with secondary thing. And that good example is collagen. Okay, so collagen, which it's in ligaments, it holds your knees together and it attaches your bone, it holds bones together in ligaments, and it's found in tendons, and it's also found in your skin. So it's a really, really important protein. Another example of fibrous protein is myosin. Okay, which is in muscle. Silk, beautiful silk scarves are made of protein, and their silk is from spiders and other similar animals. And the last one that I particularly like is keratin, because that's the fibre of hair and wool and things like that. Okay, and that's another interest of mine. So the other type, there's only two types, is globular. All right, and one of those, something we've been talking about a lot recently, and that's antibodies. To do with the C word, COVID. Okay, globulins, which you find in your blood plasma. Another one are enzymes, which you find throughout every single cell. So you can see how most things are covered in there. And some of the hormones, like insulin, which I talked about the other day. So that's based on structure. The other one is another one is composition. Okay, so you can use composition to classify them. Now, there are two types here. There's simple. Okay, and that's things like albumins, which is egg white. Okay, found in eggs. Globulins. See, they crop up again. These are simple. The majority, to be honest, are simple. Histones, they're found in nucleic acids. They help nucleic acids wrap up around to form chromosomes. And the other ones are conjugated. Now, what on earth does conjugated mean? Well, conjugated ones have what we call a prosthetic group attached. Okay, and I need to make sure I spell prosthetic group. Wow. Okay, so they have a prosthetic group, and that's things like phosphoproteins. So that's phosphoproteins. Anybody got any ideas where you might find a phosphoprotein? Something you should do fairly early on, and that's in cell membranes. Okay, they're to do with cell recognition. Glycoprotein as well, but they're also found generally. So you've added on a bit of carbohydrate on to your name. They're generally found in cell membranes too. Okay. Chroma protein. These are the ones that tend to be coloured. Okay. And those are, or they've got a coloured pigment attached. Okay. That would be something like hemoglobin. And it's the iron that gives it the colour, or chlorophyll. Okay, so they're quite important. Chroma proteins are also involved in respiration, and I'm running out of space there. Other ones, sorry, glycoproteins are also found in your saliva, mucin. Okay, so that's another place where they're found. That's pretty. Oh, lipoproteins. So you've added lipid to them, lipoproteins. Crikey, there is so many. All right, so you've added a lipid. So lipoproteins, you've added lipid. Chromoproteins, you added colour, pigment. Glycoproteins, you've added a bit of carbohydrate. And phosphoproteins, you have added a phosphate group. So it's quite easy, really, and it's quite obvious what they're going to have. But the most common method of grouping them together, I'll get better paper. Okay. So we've done structure, we've done composition, so where they've got an extra bit added. The last group way of doing it, and the most common method, to be perfectly honest, of doing it is by function. Okay, now proteins have a huge number of functions. Absolutely huge number of functions. So if you think back, okay, you've got structure. And that is, again, your collagen. Okay. You've got enzymes. Globular proteins or enzymes. Okay. I could go on all day with enzymes, can I? Shall we go for pepsin? Digestive enzyme, breaks protein down. You've got hormones. And that'd be insulin. It's a prime example. You've got transport. Well, that'll be your hemoglobin again. Whoa. So things will come up more than once in a different group, and I think that's the important thing. Protective. I hope you're all shouting at me. That'll be amino acids. Not amino acids, antibodies. Some days. Just some days. Those are antibodies. Okay. So we covered a huge number of areas of what goes on in the body. Yeah? You've got a structure, you've got enzymes, you've got hormones, you've got transport, you've got protective ones, you've got contractile. This is your muscle for movement. Yeah? So contractile. That'd be actin and myosin. Involved in muscle contraction. How cool's that? We have storage. Okay. And storage ones are things that you find in eggs. So that'll be milk. Milk proteins is a form of storage because it's stored up in the milk so that the young can live off it and grow from it. So that'll be casein in milk. Oops. And also egg whites. Okay, that's all protein. And the very last thing is the not quite so nice one, and that's toxins. Some toxins, and notably snake venom. Okay. And there's a couple of others. All right. So you can see how function relates to, you can come up with pretty much, I'm sure you'll be able to come up with, well, loads of enzymes, hopefully by now. A few more structural ones, a few more hormones. Quite a few hormones are also steroids, so they don't really count. Transport, protective, contractile storage, toxins. It's all quite simple, really. So that's how they're broken down. Tomorrow, we're going to look at factors that affect proteins and how they develop and how they work and how we can destroy them. And we need to think about bonding, which we did yesterday and the day before for that. So that's it for today. Have a really great day. I hope the weather improves a little bit today, but I'm not holding my breath. And I'll see you tomorrow, 12:20. Thanks for watching. Bye now.